Welcome to the after party. Welcome to the after party. Did you bring some snacks and treats?
Yes, it did.
I hope you got me something to eat.
Maybe.
Welcome to the after party. Coming to the after party.
Right now.
I've been waiting here all day to act like a fool this way. Welcome to the after party.
Okay.
Join us in the after party.
Right now.
Oh, chocolate and dabbing, maybe some microphone dabbing at the after party.
With DJ Eric, Pete,
And a bunch of people. We have a bunch of folks in the chat today, and the show and the chat actually. Welcome to the stream.
Oh shit!
What?
Oh, okay,
What?
my bad. No, because I came late when you started, and I undone the camera and stuff, and I didn't realize I must have clicked the unmute when you went live. So I was making weird noises.
Oh yeah, right.
Sorry, I was talking to myself as well. I didn't realize.
Doing it anyway, I'm sure.
Well, no. This is the time it was unintentional because I was talking to myself as well. So fuck. Anyway, hashtag exposed. My bad.
Anyway, I'll be honest. Like I was earlier today, I was coming up with like things to talk about, and I'm like, there's nothing. There wasn't a lot of big news this week. All the news dropped over the weekend, and then during the week there just wasn't a ton of stuff. So I got a few random things here to talk about. And there's some James Gunn comments we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Dakota Johnson and Sony not being happy with her. Talk about the Sydney Sweeney stuff on SNL. We have some stuff about the Crisis crossover and a couple other small things to talk about. So it's going to be pretty packed topics, but nothing groundbreaking, nothing like, breaking the news or whatever. Anyway, today on the stream, we have Paigey, of course, who was outed, hashtag exposed, for making noises while the intro was going on. Darth
By the
Bunyan
way,
showed
I have
up.
to say,
Yeah, go
Eric, you shaved your beard. I've just noticed
Yes.
you trimmed your beard.
Yeah, it's very trimmed. So,
And now you look a lot like.
not Keemstar.
Oh my
No, well, you're always
No.
going to look like Keemstar regardless. You
Yeah.
could, you could, I don't know, put something else on. And you'd probably get cancer if I said it anyway. And you'd probably still look like him. Who do you look like? You look like someone. Who is it? Oh,
Like me?
you look like that.
Like me
comedian.
from 2017.
No,
2017.
he looks like that comedian. What's his name? I see him. He pops up on my fucking TikTok. So am I. He has a
Right?
beard.
No.
What?
Matt Rife or no?
No, I don't
no
have the
idea who
powerful.
that is.
I don't have the powerful jaw muscles like Matt. Right?
He looks
I can't remember
like
his name
Eric
is.
to me.
What did you? Who do I look like?
What's his name?
Frida?
I said you look like DJ Eric to me.
Oh,
Like
okay. Well, there you go.
Nah.
I can't remember his name. Anyway, you look like that dude I cannot name, Eric.
Okay, well,
That's,
that narrows
there
it
you go.
down to like millions of people.
Voldemort?
Oh, dude, I was right there. I was thinking he's making it sound like Voldemort. That's crazy.
Yeah. 3Dub, who now has a website. What is the website?
Official3wp.com.
And what is
What
it?
the hell?
Yeah, what is
He
it?
told me
What
it
is
was xvideos.com. I went to that and I was like, what
oh, there it is.
the hell? Like,
No,
I
it's,
was very
it's
misled.
official3wp.com. Basically, I have
Is it like Fiverr where you do like things for money? Is that what
no, it's to promote my videos
Oh, okay.
and also
Not helping the
partner-
xvideos argument with that one. But anyway.
I found something really cool with it too. Like I can tag,
Not helping. Not helping.
I can basically put all your name, the people that guest starred on Party Nation,
Uh-huh.
and when you click on your name, it goes straight to your YouTube channel.
Oh, that's cool.
So it promotes you too,
That's
you guys
awesome.
too. So
That's cool. And Darren's in the house. Good to see you, Darren.
Hello. Hi.
Hopefully you're doing well right now.
Thank you.
Omega speed run to demonetization. Yeah, I mean, apparently, Paigey, you weren't here, but I talked about it while you were off camera or whatever. The stream from Thursday was demonetized for some reason. I don't know what it is, but we'll see.
So on that one or no?
I think most of us here were on that stream, so it's
I can't remember if I was or
gonna
not.
be interesting. So I don't know. No, the one from, was it Thursday? No, it was Monday stream. Yeah, it was Monday. You were here. Yeah. So anyway, yes. So this was one of the sad stories from the week. I was going to talk about this later on, but we'll go ahead and talk about it now. I see a lot of people paying tribute to him on different games and stuff, and how the community is coming together to sort of like throw out some respect, because this is somebody that kind of changed the world when it comes to bringing Japanese art to different formats, different places. I mean, without the work that he did, we wouldn't have a lot of the anime we have today, and manga we have today. So, shout out. I think it was somebody said that he
actually passed March
from
1st, and they just announced it on the 8th.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think it was like a few days before we heard about it, but they were saying that it was because of like I can't remember what the condition was, but they're saying that a lot of people that work in art in Japanese anime and manga have the same condition. It's like some kind of stress on your heart or something like that.
It was like a brain hemorrhage or something. I forget the exact term, but he had like some sort of a brain, like a blood clot in his brain.
Yeah. I saw an article. I didn't get a chance to read the whole thing, but apparently it's because they work people so hard over there that they end up getting stressed and
it's like, while I wasn't a huge fan of Dragon Ball, I'm a big fan of Chrono Trigger and Dragon Quest, which he did the character designs for. So right here. And like 2 years ago, Reiko Kodama, who was not the creator, was one of the main forces behind the Phantasy Star series, Alex Kidd, Altered Beast, Golden Axe, I believe. She did a lot of other Sega games, and she passed like 2 years ago. So this is like, again, another person in gaming and just in pop culture in general who was close to me,
right?
And close to things that influenced me to just pass. It's like getting older.
Is anybody else getting background noise from somewhere?
Yes,
Yeah, I think it's someone's TV.
Is it you, Paige?
Maybe. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. I didn't realize you'd be out of here.
Yeah. And I was like, wait a minute, that's
gonna
weird.
say
We don't normally hear it. I was like, whose TV is that? That might be why I'm getting demonetized if they're picking up something on TV that's like copyrighted or something. Probably like, nope,
It's just Star Wars music in the back.
Yeah, the whole background. All right, so let's start out with we'll save the Sydney Sweeney stuff for like towards the end because I know I'm gonna get in trouble for that. Here's one that's kind of funny, and I'm surprised that that Ben did not cover this one. The DC TV show. Apparently, Melissa Benoist here pointing.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Suit. Are we going to be watching her new series, The Girls on the Bus? Is anybody watching that one? Or
I'll watch it, but I feel like it's going to be like.
I think it's very political, right? Isn't it political?
Well, I was going to say, is it going to fall down your thing, Eric, and just be like, because it's about like them on the Hillary Clinton political presidential race. I think that's what it's like the journalists that followed her.
I don't know if that's something I'm interested in watching. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
not
don't
really, because I don't know, because like Hillary Clinton kept shooting herself in the foot, so maybe it might be a bit of a comedy, but I'm not too sure. Like
Hero's Journey's not a fan. I think they're triggered by this picture in the chat. So
for those that don't know, she probably should have won. She kept shooting herself in the foot, and then Trump won.
So yeah, but I think the story is going to talk about that, like the whole race, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm super interested in it. I'm sure it's going to do really. It'll probably be critically acclaimed because if it's really good, they'll talk about it or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't imagine it's going to be objective in any sense.
Oh no, not at all. It's going to be like literally one side. I'm sure it's going to be one-sided. But the thing about it is that I believe it's based on a book, right? Isn't it based on like a documented stories of people that were on the campaign trail or something? I think that's what it was. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just
I don't know a lot about it, but
like the press bus, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. You know what? I have a feeling, to be completely honest, that it's going to be one of those things where it's either going to be really good and it's going to win a bunch of awards, or it's going to be so cringy and awful that people are going to be making hate videos about it online.
What's it on, Max?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe people might not just watch it. Like I feel like they might
I think
not
it'll just
put
be-
it out.
I think it's
Like-
a show that no one watches. Yeah, I think it's probably.
Yeah, I
where
feel like they
it's
might not like promote it at all. It might just come out and be like, yeah, that came out at some point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll probably watch like the first one, and then if I like it, maybe I'll watch more. But
There was a debate online about which Supergirl suit from the series was the best between this one and the one with the pants. And I will say that I still feel like this one is so comic book accurate.
Yeah.
Like this one is so good.
I wish they stayed in LA so that she could wear that one.
Yeah, they just got too hard weather-wise. They had to change it. So
Yeah, but she's cold.
I also just think we needed a change though as well. Like I think 4 seasons, like with that same suit, it was just nice to have something different to like stand itself apart. Like if you look back at the Flash, you could normally tell which season was which by what suit he was wearing.
yeah.
And I thought that was kind of cool. Where hers is like this was from one of the 4 seasons. I'm not sure which.
Well, they also had that really ugly like spacesuit that when she was like not able to make it onto the show with
sure.
the big mask and everything. So
It felt like you know how Grant Gustin would his suit kind of semi-changed through the season, as you can tell, to make it more comfortable for the actor.
yeah.
I wish they did it with Supergirl because it felt like the same suit. There was no like until like season 2 where we finally get the how her suit like comes over her thumb.
Yeah.
She eventually got that.
I believe if she would have stayed in LA, they probably would have kept that same skirt and stuff. They would have just changed the design slightly. Most
Like
likely.
Superman Lois, how his suit went from bulky to slim to new kind of S symbol.
Question: do you think we're going to get a new suit for the final season or no?
I think we're going to get a one-off suit.
You do?
Like for a certain story, like we're going to get like, Jordan.
Yeah. Maybe. We'll see. We also have some news from James Gunn about Grant Gustin. Did you guys see this one? The story, what James said?
Yeah.
So it says here, actually I'll pull it up on screen so we can all read the quote, but I don't think it means anything major, but it's just a nice little quote here. It says, with James talking about Grant Gustin, he says, Grant is an incredibly talented actor performing now on Broadway and is absolutely not going to waste just because he's not currently in DC project. But of course, I'd love to work with him at some point. So I don't think this is them saying like, oh, he's definitely 100% going to be in a DC, you thing. But it does mean that there's a possibility there could be something for him down the road. I don't think I think Pagey said he would like to see him as somebody else other than Barry Allen. So like a Jay Garrick or something like that.
Well, I think my whole thing was the whole immersion thing. That's the only thing that I think is an issue if you want to cast him as something else, like proper, if that makes sense.
I felt like this was a polite way to be like, he's not going to be the Flash, though.
Oh yeah, I didn't think that.
Oh well, I don't even think. Yeah, I think he wouldn't be the Flash anyway. I think like they probably want to go a different angle in regards to, and also like by the time the Flash comes in, it might not be for another 5-6 years. By that point, Grant's almost 40, so like you want Barry to be around 30 years old. And like
He would
Grant
make a
might look
perfect
30.
Jay Garrick though. He would age up as Jay Garrick, which would be kind of.
I think that's if you're probably gonna do something like a nod, then you'd do that. But the other thing is just the immersion thing. Like even if you cast was another character, might I say, whoever it might be, do people see him as that character, or they just go, "Oh no, that's just the Flash"? And then does that downplay the person who is the Flash in that universe? That's the issue there. So if you do Jay Garrick, that's probably the easy way to meet the best of both worlds. Where he's a different character, but it pleases that Flash angle. Yeah.
Let's see here.
Oh, by the way,
yeah.
Look, I'm not for extermination, but like I'm really wondering if we put all the people that keep saying Lucas Till for Barry Allen in a group and just like exile them from the rest of humanity.
Oh my god!
It's the most vanilla shit take. Just because he looks like Barry Allen, but he doesn't look like he'd be able to play him.
I'm going to be completely honest. Who's Lucas Till?
Yeah,
I'll pull up a picture. Hold on, I'll get a picture.
MacGyver. He was. He was.
Oh no way! No way!
What was the Havoc? In X-Men?
Yes, he was Havoc in X-Men.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I put the face together.
Yeah, so here I'll share like for people to see. Hold on, I'll share.
Lovely
all
guy.
those X-Men movies were a blur to me.
No.
I think it was gifted.
Here's what he looks like right here.
No.
Actually, yeah, I can
Not
see it.
gifted. Not gifted.
I mean, he does look like him, but I don't think that.
Yeah,
means
that's the
he
thing.
has to
That's
play
the thing.
him,
It's
but-
like he looks like him, but I don't think he'll be able to play him. Also, by the time, I mean, he's 33. He's the same age as Grant. You know,
Yeah.
he'd probably be too old for the role coming by the time that the Flash rolls around anyway, whenever that might be.
Okay.
I guess
that
it would
and-
depend how long he's playing him as well. Like, is it like a chapter 1 and then we kill him off type thing to like do Wally, or is he like 10 years of Barry Allen? Then you'd probably want to
Yeah.
cast a bit younger.
That was Grant Gustin. Moving on.
Yeah.
Look, I'm pretty sure that Grant is happy working on Broadway. I mean, he
Yeah.
really enjoys singing and doing all that
He
together. So
basically said that when the Flash is over, I'm going back to my roots and going to Broadway.
yeah. So, what about this? I was going to talk about this on Monday, but since we're doing Dune on Monday, I also bring it up here. What about this news about Sony laying off like almost 1,000 people? Did you see this? The news about them like
I'm not
firing a bunch of
surprised.
people?
Everyone's getting laid off. If you paid attention to the gaming industry like I do, everyone's getting laid off left and right. So I'm not surprised.
So what are your thoughts on this, Omega? Because you obviously are play games constantly. You're a gamer. So what are your thoughts on the Sony gaming division and these layout? Like, do you think that this is a sign of like them trying to move into AI doing stuff, or what do you think the
I wouldn't
reason
be
is for
surprised if
this?
they're trying to do that because it's just corporate greed. Because Sony Computer Entertainment still makes more than Sony Music and Sony Films combined.
Yep.
And they're making record profits off these games, and PlayStation is just still doing gangbusters now. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth just came out, and they're still in it laying people off. It's just corporate greed. Now,
It has to be because
I'm not gonna
gaming
get on my
makes more
soapbox,
money
but
than the
yeah.
film industry. The gaming industry makes more money than the film industry.
Yeah, they see not EA, but EA is part of it. They see AI on the horizon. They're thinking, oh, you can only pay these programmers, these so many programmers, so much money, and then we could have AI do the rest. And even EA said they're only going to focus on their own IPs, which basically means at Madden, well, they lost FIFA, but they're basically just going to focus on Madden 2K, milk the idiots who play those garbage games.
Pagey plays FIFA.
Well, EA is not playing.
I'll tell you what, I've been fucking playing the shit out of this game on my phone on the toilet. What's it
Not
called?
a phone, not a
Township.
mobile game. Not a mobile game.
Eric, don't even get me. Don't even you try and criticize me. I still remember you telling me that you spent like thousands of dollars on some X-Men shit, some
No, I
Marvel Strike Force
I
shit.
didn't. Oh no, I did play Marvel Strikes, but I didn't
whoa,
spend $1,000 on it.
No, it was thousands. It wasn't just
It
a
was not.
thousand.
It
It
was
was
not
thousands. Don't
You're
even
the
get
one.
me started.
You're the person that likes to roll the dice and put bets on stuff.
Well,
So
I
that's-
can't
that's
say
you,
shit
not me.
because I
But there's a
Star
potential
Citizen.
there for a return.
I can't say
not
anything because I play
struggle.
Star Citizen. And don't ask me
Oh.
how much I spent on ships. Please don't ask me. 'Cause I'm not.
Is anybody actively playing games? I know you are, Omega.
Yeah.
But is anybody else actively playing like a game regularly right now, like going through a game of any kind? Because I just finished Baldur's Gate 3, so I'm getting ready to start another run on
Okay,
that.
who'd you
but-
run next?
Everybody. I just basically was like anybody that wanted to get down, I was ready for it.
I'm
What
playing
was
a
that
classic-
game where you played as? Where did you ever play the Playboy game on PlayStation 2?
Here we go.
It looked-
Demonetized.
it looked
Like,
like-
no,
What was
I'm not playing
What was
that.
the other game? It was like Larry
Leisure
something.
Yeah, that's old.
Larry.
That's old. Those games were garbage though. They
Yeah,
were
I think the latest Leisure
Boy.
Suit was like on PS3.
Don't
if
start
you wanted
dissing
if
the
you wanted to
PS2.
if you wanted to play something that was like edgy like that, play some of the mods for GTA 5. Those are the ones where you get
Yeah,
some
play
really
mods for
crazy
freaking
stuff.
Skyrim.
Yeah, that's true. Skyrim as well. Yeah.
I remember, the Skyrim ones were.
All right, we have a
Crazy.
super chat over here from Staggervore 49 super chat. I can actually see Lucas still as Green Arrow. I think it would be better suited for him. Well, Paigey, that's your department. What do you think about Lucas still as Green Arrow? Everybody can chime in
I
on this
mean,
one.
you could see him as the character, but it doesn't mean he's the best choice for the character. They'd probably be like tenfold on top.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue that's most fan castings. Like most of the people fan cast to be these characters would never be the characters because they're just not fit to play it. Like you have to have those casting people be like, yeah, this is who I think should be the character.
Do you think any of the castings for the DCU so far are wrong? Like if we were to look at who's been cast, like between Millie Alcott
Oh,
and
I mean,
some
it's
of
the obvious one.
Which one? Which one's the obvious one?
Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, but that's like.
Oh, you think that's a
the obvious
miscast?
It's a miscast, but it's not awful. It's not like ring the alarm bells. Also, because I don't think he's going to be a major player. Like he'll show up and recur, but I don't think he's going to be like, you're not going to get a Guy Gardner movie or a Guy Gardner show. He's just going to appear in certain things, so you don't have to ring the alarm bells. I mean, the only main two castings are Superman and Supergirl, and they've done really well with them. The only issue is that, I mean, if you asked 100 people on the street, maybe 2 people might know who they are. That's the only issue.
But that might be
that might be a good thing.
Okay.
I
think that's good for the actual films, like in terms of like how the films can go. But I think it's bad in terms of like hype level because they can't use like a celebrity.
Because if you're not using someone that's known, it's like, oh well, they're cheaping out. They're not getting someone that's known and stuff. But Superman has that almost like legacy of being like an unknown that plays the character, at least in the movie side of things. Like no one usually knows who they are, and then they usually make their name from being Superman or whatever it might be potentially. So but that's a wait and see. But yeah,
what were you gonna say, Dorothy? I thought you heard.
Just that Lois Lane. I'm unsure, and so I'm gonna wait and see how she does, and then.
I'm excited for her as Lois because I loved her in Mrs. Maisel, so I think she's going to do really well. I think. Well, I could be wrong. I have high hopes for her. I think she to me personality wise totally fits like a modern version of Lois Lane. So
the only one I haven't
a role to pull off, like because like is as opposed to just being Superman's arm candy or a damsel in distress as and being a strong. Supportive character to the story that actually matters. I think that's hard to pull off.
Well, that also comes like it's probably like more like 75-80% writing, and so that's like I mean, I don't think it'd be hard to do a better job than Amy Adams.
Is James Gunn the sole writer of the movie, or is there other people writing it with him?
I think he's sole screenwriter. I think it's just written and directed by him. I don't think there's any co-writers.
Yeah, I don't think he'd put a lot out. Like how much rides on this, I think he's going to want as much holding as much cards as close to him as he can.
So
he could be also the casting director doing this.
Yeah. So here, this is interesting, and after this, we'll move into the Madam Web stuff. But apparently, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania had an absolutely chaotic production. I think we were getting new pages up until the last day, and I think getting new fights the last day. I just show up and they're like, "Here's a new fight." I mean,
colorly surprised because there was something about that movie that seemed a bit disjointed. I kind of just just blew it off like it was
To be fair, I'm assuming this is the actress that just had that movie come out, Katie O'Brien, that said it.
Yeah,
probably.
But she was in hardly any scenes. She was only in a few scenes.
Here's the thing, though. Like, I think, to be completely honest, I mean, overall, it's a mid film. I don't think it's awful. I don't think it's great. I think it's just
it's very mid
movie, right?
I think below mid, Eric, but yeah.
I think Jonathan Majors' work in it definitely makes it.
Yeah, he made the entire movie.
Like, I feel like
hired him because of some bullshit accusations, but never mind.
Save the movie.
I think if you're going to say anything was bad in the movie, it might be the third act. I think the third act was the worst of the film, to be honest. Like,
I kind of remember. I just remember like the thing had 7 buttholes or something like that, or whatever. Had like what's it, jelly creature?
What?
At first he had no holes. Then he got
had
shot.
no holes. I had the opposite. I thought it had lots of
he
holes.
got shot. Then he now has holes.
But to be fair, if that character were in a James Gunn movie, nobody would question it.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? If that character were in Guardians of the Galaxy, I truly believe that if it depends who's attached to the name of the film. If James Gunn would have directed this and a character would have been talking about having seven buttholes or whatever, people would have laughed at it.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, I don't find James Gunn's comedy that funny, might I say. I find he's like just his stories and stuff good. I don't actually find his comedy that amazing. I think his comedy is like okay to not great, but like. I don't know. I think if something's funny, it's funny. If people want to, hashtag censor ride and stuff like that, then they can do it if they want to. But
I just think this movie gets. I think this is one of those movies where I get it if you don't love it, but I also don't understand the hate for the movie.
It is. I was about to say, it's overhated. It's not
amazing,
a movie that you
but
can
it's
hate,
not right.
Awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, when you like Thor: The Dark World, don't you, Eric?
I do like that movie. Yes.
So yeah, like I think this is probably better than that, but that's.
I'm not going to
saying
dispute
much.
that. I don't think Thor: The Dark World is a good. See, this is the miscommunication people have with me. I will never defend a movie that I know most people hate, even if I like it. I get that movie's not popular.
Like me with the first Suicide Squad movie. I liked that movie. Was it a bad movie? Yes, absolutely. I still liked it.
I feel the same way about it. Like I enjoy the movie, but it's a bad movie.
This seems to be the stream of exposing yourself in like a PG sense.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, so don't get any ideas on Mega. Eric, what MCU movies do you think are unequivocally arse? Like they're below a 4 out of 10?
So below mid is what you're saying, basically.
Well, yeah, whatever you consider mid, yeah.
Well, mid for me is a movie that you can watch and you don't really have any strong feelings.
It's not offensive, but it's just like you just forget about it as soon as you leave the theater.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like that's mid.
So
is there any MCU movie that's below that?
Yes, Thor: Love and Thunder, 100%.
Okay, I think Thor: Love and Thunder is better than Thor: The Dark World.
But see, that's because
I agree.
Look, okay, so let me put this out there. It's possible because the director is someone that's the comedy is like the kind of comedy that you like, right? Taika's a director that you typically like is kind of.
It was probably 50-50. I think it was. Right. I think the comedy that didn't work in Thor: Love and Thunder was like the overdone one, or like
I think he was
just like pushing.
I think he was better in Thor Ragnarok than he was Thor: Love and Thunder. I think his work in Thor Ragnarok was.
Well, I think the comedy is almost the same. It's just that like when you get so much of it, like it's almost like comedy that wasn't in the MCU before, but then when you get it again, it's just not as funny because it's different.
I think there were problems with Thor: Love and Thunder that weren't just comedy. Like the goat screaming got to a point where I'm like, it's too much.
Well, I thought you loved that bit with the goats.
No, I hated that. I think Thor: Love and Thunder was 3 movies smashed into one. To be completely honest, Thor: Love and Thunder was a Guardians of the Galaxy movie that got cut down to like a 10-minute like intro to the film. I think there was a Jane Foster movie in there that could have been completely separate from the other one, and then there was a movie with gore that could have been a whole separate movie. I think it was 3 movies sort of smashed into one, in my opinion.
What's funny is when I think about Love and Thunder, I don't automatically think of a comedy in the movie, even though that there's obvious comedy like the goat screaming, but like when I think about Love and Thunder, I think about cancer because that's basically.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I will say I'm glad that they didn't go the comedy route with that storyline. That storyline was pretty serious all the way through.
I'm just trying to imagine some sort of like stupid comedic line, like I don't know, like I've got cancer, now Curb Your Enthusiasm music starts playing or some stupid shit.
Oh
like
that. Yeah. No,
someone trying to play that.
I think Thor: Love and Thunder is probably my least favorite in terms of like watching back an MCU movie. I just don't really enjoy it. However, there are other projects in the MCU that I didn't like. Like I think Secret Invasion was a total miss. Like after the first 2 episodes, it just went completely downhill, and I was not enjoying it.
Okay, hold on. Okay, what is worse, Thor: The Dark World or She-Hulk in your opinion?
Thor: The Dark World versus She-Hulk.
Dark World by miles, I think.
Wait, hold on. What did you say?
Dark World by miles is way worse.
Yeah. I mean, I probably enjoyed She-Hulk more than
I like She-Hulk.
World, so.
What about Ant-Man versus? What about Quantumania versus She-Hulk?
Exile episode.
I think for me, I probably like She-Hulk more than Quantumania. To be completely honest.
I like the Daredevil episode more than Dark World.
Just the one episode. He's like just
the one episode.
This is the only one. I'm not co-signing the season.
I think one more.
People have to remember that I don't think She-Hulk was meant to feel like the other stuff in the MCU. I think it was specifically made to feel like a different type.
It was
of
a
show.
sitcom.
Yeah.
That's how the She-Hulk comics are. They're kind of they're in a weird, different world.
And we talked about this before. Also, the fact that people keep saying they should have just cast a strong woman as She-Hulk, it doesn't make any sense. That would not have worked. Putting her next to like the Hulk, like it just wouldn't work.
How do you feel about Iron Man 3?
I didn't even bother to see that.
Iron Man 3 is I've had ups and downs with that movie. I think the fact that it followed up an Avengers film was a big problem for it because it was so deconstructed as a superhero movie because it dealt with PTSD, it dealt with like him and the fallout from everything that happened with the Avengers and his own personal life and fighting with the idea that he was trying to build this army of suits to make up for like him feeling like he's not doing what he should be doing and he wasn't helping the world. And it's like all of this internalized shit. I think the movie itself, and Paige and I think we've talked about this a little bit, if I remember correctly, but I think the movie itself as a movie about Iron Man is probably a very strong movie narrative wise. But as a movie following up all of these big exciting like films and you know, an Avengers movie or whatever, I think it was in a bad spot. Like I think where it was placed was bad. So
on its own, it's a good film. I mean, Shane Black, man, like Shane Black's a good, you know, I like most of his movies.
With
But
Iron Man
in
3,
the context of the MCU, it's like horribly placed. Like in regards to, you know, the feel of the movie. Like, I'm not going to say it's like the Supergirl Flash musical crossover, but there's some similarities there.
with Iron Man 3,
takes a lot out for me.
with Iron Man 3, it felt like they brought a cool bad guy and like made him irrelevant.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. So yeah, I mean, we should probably do I actually think while we're waiting for movies to come back, we should probably do streams about some of these MCU things between now and the end of the year, because I think it would be quite interesting to kind of go back and reflect on some of the trilogies and stuff like that.
This might be like an expensive video to make, but maybe the production cost would make it worth it. Eric does a lie detector test and has asked questions about She-Hulk. I'd love to see. Why would
I, in a world where a lot of people don't like She-Hulk, pretend to like the show? Why would I do that?
Just to be different, Eric. I have a feeling I just love to see that, even just not She-Hulk, even just MCU related questions, but with a major topic or major focus on She-Hulk. I'd love to see the responses.
There's a lot of there's a lot of people in this stream that like why am I the odd person out? Why are you singling me out?
Because you're the host, Eric. You're the host with the most. So
yeah,
no. We gotta
I think there is a level of criticism about She-Hulk that is absolutely valid. I think there's a lot of things wrong with the show. As a show, I think the CGI was rushed in a lot of ways. I don't think that they always nailed the comedy. I don't think that some of the episodes were the strongest. But as a series, I enjoyed it. Like I get it, you know. But people screaming about it, like the feminist shit and the twerking and all that, it's just dumb. It's just dumb.
I knew you'd love the twerking. Like, I mean, that when as soon as
I stand by this, the amount of people that did not watch MCU stuff that watched She-Hulk was pretty high, because I talked to a lot of people who watched it because it was different from the other stuff.
Do you think that?
I know you go 3-0.
Okay. Do you think the CGI for She-Hulk, if she goes into a movie, will be completely vascular differently?
It would be better. It would be better than the show, 100%.
Because they had budget.
And would she comment on it?
With She-Hulk, were the episodes 20 to 30 minutes long, or were they longer?
They were like 20. Yeah, they're like 22 to 20.
That was sitcom length. They were like, I was going to say, because maybe that's, I mean, I thought it was arse, but I
actually think that the shortness of the episodes weren't just because of the sitcom. I think it was a very expensive show. It was like 200.
I think you didn't actually even say it was an expensive show.
They said, well, Tatiana came out and said they went over budget. So the show went over its production budget.
Well, wasn't the thing that the entire finale was over budget? Like they ran out of budget.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
In the ultimate episode, I think that was the thing, and then the entire finale was, and I think they even changed it. That's why she's not.
I heard that the breaking the fourth wall storyline was added to make up space for like money they didn't have.
Yeah, but she's just walking around. She's not She-Hulk, and that was the money that was saved. Yeah.
I think it's unfortunate that seems to be one of the main ones that's not doing a second season with his budget and stuff like that, because I do think it's one of them that feels like a TV show. Like it feels like the one that should get a season 2, 3, and 4 and kind of separate itself from like the main MCU stuff as just like a sitcom on the side that like doesn't necessarily be like, but the Avengers and all this kind of stuff. Like she can just live her own life over there, like being a lawyer and doing the sitcom stuff.
It's very like Jessica Jones to me, because she feels like she doesn't have to be a part of anything. She could just do her own, like live her own life and everything. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. But I mean, like there was also some choices in it that I didn't like. Like bringing in Hulk's son. I thought that was really dumb to do that. I mean, I understand what they were setting up, but I don't think it worked within the context of the show. There was just a lot of choices with She-Hulk that I didn't care for. But if we're talking about humor, comedy, like the character of She-Hulk herself, I think all of that was done really well, in the series. But Paige doesn't like it. He thinks Inhumans is better than She-Hulk, probably.
I didn't finish either, so I don't know. Maybe Inhumans finishes better than
My dad's hilarious. She's great. The retreat episode is just a phenomenal episode, just on a standalone.
Yeah,
and it's really really good.
Like the characters introduced in that retreat episode are hilarious. Like they're just so fucking funny.
The one line that stands out to me in She-Hulk is the whole like I was a whole totally different person back then. He was talking about.
I didn't know the guy who played Mambo. He's actually a comedian and he's on TikTok.
I mean, a lot of the people cast in that show were.
He just mentioned it. I was like, "Oh shit! I didn't know I follow this guy." He's like some stand-up comedian.
My only concern about Daredevil is now that they're making the Daredevil from the Netflix series canon in the MCU. My only concern is how does that fit in with the Daredevil from She-Hulk? Because where does that line up chronologically with his story?
I'm not too worried.
He should have like 3 different suits by now. Like basically, if it because he has 2 that we've seen publicly in the show, but we have that gold helmet one.
Right.
And then we have a 4th one for this new show as well.
Yeah, okay, so there's 4. So yeah, there should be a lot more suits in the show.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it because for one, they say they don't even have a showrunner for anything anymore, and they just kind of just been going willy nilly.
Well, that's before. That's what they were doing. Yeah, that was the issue. Is that and we've talked about that previously, but yeah, they had writers like head writers and people like that running the shows and no actual showrunners. And so Daredevil will be the first series in the MCU with like a normal writing room showrunner, all of that.
Garbage, then.
Honestly, I don't even need to see the suit. I just need it to be referenced. Like basically, we see a helmet and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like sitting off to the side or something like that. Yeah, that makes sense.
He just has it like with his collection of helmets.
Yeah. Actually, that's what I was going to say. Going off topic, but if I don't say it now, I'll forget. Because I saw it. Yes, I already watched it by this point, like a few days before, but I saw it on Twitter. I ended up watching that Lisa Frankenstein movie.
It was really good.
Did you see that, Eric?
Yeah, it was really good.
I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah,
and
no, absolutely. Zelda did a great job with it. I think. Well, I just thought the movie was.
It reminded me of like Weird Science and like Beetlejuice, I guess, with like the 2 that I was thinking of.
Okay, Paigey, it's funny you mentioned that because we talked about this with Wonder Woman 84. Lisa Frankenstein is another movie where it felt like it was made to be like a movie from that.
Even without spoiling anything, that bit where like the axe is getting thrown and stuff like that, it's made like it was filmed in the 80s. Like they put it on like a rotor thing.
Okay,
like,
how many people here have seen the movie? Are me and Paige the only 2 that have seen it? Lisa Frankenstein.
I think it's on Prime now. I think it might be on Prime.
It is directed by Zelda Williams.
Don't quote me, but
it's a Zelda Williams movie.
I'm quoting you.
So it's what?
No. I said it was on Prime, and now Darren's going to hold me to that, so he might go there.
All right.
Don't quote me.
It is absolutely fun. So the premise of the movie is it's a I don't want to say modern day. It's a late 80s, early 90s style movie with a zombie element in it. So it's really
it's a play on Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And a play on Frankenstein's monster. So like Cole Sprouse, aka Jughead from Riverdale, is the monster, and then Catherine Newton's like Frankenstein, I guess.
Catherine Newton is great in the movie too, by the way. Just absolutely fantastic. It's a great movie. I can't say enough about it. But here's the thing: people say, "Oh, we want these mid-budget movies in theaters because that's what people want to see," and then nobody went out and saw it.
Yeah,
nobody went and saw the movie.
Yeah, it has good music as well.
Oh,
it has a Napoleon Dynamite song in it.
It does. But also it takes like the songs and it changes them as well. So you get like the regular version, then you get like a remix version or whatever in the movie. So anyway, Lisa Frankenstein, shout out to that movie. Yeah. It's good.
Funny story.
I went to go see it last week. Sorry.
I actually saw like back in the day, I literally thought Frankenstein was the monster.
Yeah, that
was
now I'm older, it's Frankenstein's monster.
Yes. Yeah. 100%.
Which I don't know his name. Still don't.
Dr. Frankenstein.
All right.
Oh, the monster is just the monster.
Yeah. So this is kind of floating around. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with Dakota Johnson, but she's been out doing interviews, kind of talking about the issues with the movie and how things didn't work out, and very candidly talking about it, like very open.
Can I just say something? TV man, he was saying Zelda Williams of importance because it's Robin Williams' daughter, so that's why he was saying Zelda Williams. For those,
yes.
I know TV man was saying as if you were referencing it like she's Nolan or something. I mean,
no, I'm just pointing out that it's Robin Williams' daughter.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's Robin Williams' daughter. So
yes, Frankenstein is the doctor. I know people are getting shocked now. I mean, 3Dub is educating people in the chat.
I feel like most people do that when they're talking about like a new movie, though. Like they mention who directed it. It doesn't have to be like the biggest director ever made.
Yeah,
like it's like a respect thing. Just say who made it.
Yeah, like for example, S.J. Clarkson directed this movie. So you just like sometimes you have to remember who the director.
It seems like Sony is giving 50 Shades to Dakota Johnson.
Yeah, it says here that Sony's reportedly angry at Dakota Johnson for dragging Madam Web and failing to take any responsibility after admitting she hadn't seen the film herself. Which I mean, like fair enough, she hadn't seen it. Whatever. I mean, she doesn't have to. She worked on the film. Producers and Sony aren't laughing over Dakota's continued dragging of how she sees the fallout of Madam Web and how she isn't taking responsibility for its lackluster results.
Maybe they shouldn't have made a shit movie.
Well, look, that's true, but I'll also say this: I think it's a little weird that the studios are now trying to blame the people who are reading lines and taking direction as the problem with a really fucked up film.
No, but I think what they're trying to say is she hasn't seen the film and she's not taking any share of the responsibility, right? They're not just saying, oh, it's all her fault. And I have to say, it's very unprofessional and incredibly irresponsible for her to be shitting all over this.
Yeah.
They also said that there's a possibility they're questioning, like one of the other quotes, I don't have it here, but one of the other quotes was that they're also questioning her star power. And that they think that this failure will haunt her career because she was the lead of the movie. Do you think that's true?
Well, it depends. Did they cast her because of her star power, or they just cast her because she was up to do it? Like, there's a difference between it. Like, I think, like...
Well, she's got all that drama about being a Nepto baby and all that, too. That's, like, followed her around for years. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, like... but she doesn't really... Like, outside of 50 Shades, she never really did, like... I mean, she was in Social Network, but that's when she was first starting.
I think they might be saying it in the sense that this would have been her star power moment. Like this movie could have been her as like a lead character.
I think this was like do minimal effort and get a decent paycheck role.
Do you think this will be like a double chance to where they do like Killmonger? Like he was Human Torch and he got casted as Black Panther's brother.
I'll be honest, I don't think she ever wants to come back and work on a superhero movie.
No,
She's made it very clear that this experience really
after this,
I thought it was an MCU.
No, I don't think she wants to do any superhero movies.
I think she's been like an indie person. Like since she got did 50 Shades, I think she's just been doing indie movies, and she obviously that's what she likes doing and stuff like that.
Sure.
This was like a new concept for her too, because she'd never done blue screen. So
yeah. I also think it's a little like so. I feel like we remember the drama about her agent and whatever, like confusing whether or not this was an MCU movie or if it was just like a Sony Marvel preview or whatever. Yeah. Like, do you think that that's one of the things where, she's kind of annoyed that she got involved with this movie that ended up just being like a one-off, like nothing film or whatever? Because could you imagine if they're like, oh, we're going to be casting you as like, I don't know, think of a Marvel character that's like popular that's in the Spider-Verse that we haven't seen so far. So no, just like a spider, like a Sony Spider-Verse character. Or we're gonna cast you as the Lizard, right? So they're gonna cast you as a lizard, and you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna be in a Marvel movie, and then you get there and you see all these Sony signs everywhere, and you're like, oh fuck, this is not an MCU film, it's a Sony film. Like, I wonder if that's how it was with Kraven the Hunter. If he got there and realized that it was a
I think production. He was more aware because he knew he was in an MCU movie with Avengers too, so he knows the difference.
You know what? I want to we haven't watched it in a while, but I want to watch that Kraven trailer quickly before we move on, because
my issue is that it's still in the cinema, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah,
right. Yeah. Which means that
how the fuck is that still in the theater?
There's sniping, and it's the studio as well. They're not exactly being professional either, right? And they're not helping themselves in any way, like, because all they're doing is just showing that if nothing goes to plan, they're not just going to hold their tongue, talk about it in private or whatever. They're just going to look for any opportunity just to sit bitching about everything.
Yeah,
studio too, and it's just like, why would I want to work with that person when I can work with somebody that might like hold it together for a bit longer?
Well, that's the same thing we said about other people before, like with Ray Fisher, like somebody that is so chaotic in the way they respond to any kind of criticism or questions or whatever. Studios want, it might seem boring, right, that they want people that are less controversial, but there's a level of controversy that studios are willing to put up with, but I don't think one of them is shitting on their properties. I think that's
I understand as well that it's really hard to be the front of something that's not going well, and all of the focus is going to be on you.
Yeah,
I get that. I understand it's hard, but at that point, just say to Sony, listen, I need to stop doing interviews because I'm just going to start saying it's your fault. I can't.
Like, tell your agent, take me off the press tour. Like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah, that would have been so much better than.
Which, by the way, it's kind of weird that a movie that is doing so poorly, they're still doing press work for it, like 4 or 5 weeks into the movie's like life. It's a little weird.
I'm not thinking this
today.
No, I think she had a movie come out at South by Southwest. It's that one with Sean Penn.
And they're still asking her about Madam Web. Can you imagine?
I think they're asking about, like, they're probably, the questions were like, what was the difference between doing this and doing that, or something like. I'm assuming that's probably what it was. Is Eric dead? R.I.P. the dream. I know he's back. He's been resuscitated.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna watch the trailer for Kraven because I just remember this trailer not being good. So let's see if my memory serves.
This trailer was worse than the Madam Web trailer from memory.
Right. So let's do this. Here we go. We're just gonna watch it straight through. I forgot there were spiders dropping in the trailer.
Right.
My son, never show mercy. They are prey.
I just want to point out, like, that it already looks like generic action movie. You know what I mean? Like, that intro is very just, oh, it's a super soldier. That's pretty much all that told me. It's like it's a Captain America, Black Panther type character.
If it didn't have Kraven as the title, I wouldn't care at all.
Right.
Like, if it wasn't like Marvel, I'm like, oh, okay. Like,
I just realized how many fathers has he played in superhero movies now at this point?
He's even, didn't he play Jor-El?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, memory.
He was also in Thor: Love and Thunder,
and he was Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Predators. Boys, your mother is dead.
She died because you sent her away.
She was weak, sick in her mind. You know my business, yes? Power is about strength. If you show weakness, you will give our enemies an opening. Shoot.
By the way, that CGI looks really bad. It looks totally disconnected from the character, from the person. Like, if you watch it here.
Hey, it's Aslan.
He is weak, like his mother. Leave him.
What happened that day?
Oh my god.
Wait. I never picked that up in the original one. So the blood from the lion drips into his blood and then he becomes Kraven.
Yeah. I'm telling you, this is going to be connected to Madam Web. I called this weeks ago.
What about the lion makes it special? Is it
I don't know.
A radioactive lion?
I guess maybe
lion blood.
If a scorpion drops blood on him, he becomes a scorpion?
That's what I mean. Like, what is this? Okay, here we go.
I stared death in the face, and for the first time, I saw my true self. Tell me about this hunter. They say he uses a connection with animals to track his prey. And once you're on his list, There's only one way off.
The 6 of us, and only one of you.
There's 6 of you now.
Oh, the blood effect is bad here. Oh God.
Why do you hunt?
My father puts evil into the world.
Didn't they get rid of his accent?
What was that?
Have they got rid of his accent? I swear he had a Russian accent.
Yeah, it's like it went away. It was like he had it and then he didn't have it. I don't know.
It's like he had like
I think you're some kind of honor.
It's like the accent from the MCU, but then it kind of disappeared. I'll be honest. So far, this is giving me Netflix movie vibes, like the way it looks.
That background is so horrible.
Yeah,
Exactly like our father. Just another man hunting for a trophy.
We're murderers. Isn't that what he taught us?
You don't get to do that to me anymore.
Okay, so most of us have seen Madam Web, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
That scene in the forest with the spiders, like Darth was saying, clearly supposed to be connected to Madam Web, even though they said it wasn't. Madam Web wasn't
Stand-
connected to anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Taglin. Mr. Taglin? Where's Mr. Taglin?
Oh, you're standing in him.
You're a goddamn lunatic.
Oh, he's got a Green Arrow
Figure that
book.
out
He's
now.
crossing off days in the book.
There is an animal in each one of us.
Don't you want to know why they call me the Rhino?
Okay.
Huh.
So this movie comes out this year. Why? I mean, I understand they're trying to turn villains into heroes for whatever reason,
Yeah.
but the idea that Kraven the Hunter doesn't hunt animals but hunts people, and that
Yeah.
somehow makes him a more admirable person. I don't totally get it. I mean, is he hunting hunters? Is that what he does?
Yeah.
I-
I think in terms of like trying to pitch a Kraven movie, I do think that that's their best outcome. But then there's the argument of like, but why are you making a Kraven movie? Why not just adapt another character that's better suited to be this hero type character?
Yeah.
What they're doing with the villains is kind of ticking me off because Spider-Man is losing his rogue gallery.
Yeah. 100%.
It's funny that this is the reflex after everybody was complaining about heroes being turned into villains.
Yeah. I think Hollywood was like, we're going to do it with every villain. Every villain is going to be a hero now because
Yeah.
that's what people want to see.
And Spider-Man's the villain.
Well, in Madam Web, they essentially tried to make an evil Spider-Man. That was kind of what they did, you know.
Without web swinging.
It's like it's as we said again, like Aaron Taylor Johnson is a proven entity and a proven talent, but it's just going to be a miscasting, which is nothing against him, unfortunately.
In my opinion, one of the worst things they did in Age of Ultron was getting rid of Quicksilver.
Yeah.
That was so dumb. I understand they
Yeah,
wanted to
coming.
raise the stakes, but come on.
I could see
Like-
them bringing him back. Like, I don't know if it's that actor, if we're going to bring him back, but I think us going into this new X-Men era and with our Secret Wars, I could see us being like, oh, he's back now. Here we go. Or
I
something.
still want to know how Steve Rogers' line where he's like, if you die, walk it off.
Yeah.
So I wonder how did Quicksilver actually walk it off?
So, want to move over to this is our final official topic, and then we'll do a one small topic and take some questions from the chat. But so I've been seeing a lot of this. I talked about it on my other channel, but I haven't really talked about it over here. So Sydney Sweeney from Madam Web was on Saturday Night Live, and it seems like for some reason her wearing low cut tops means that it's the end of like wokeness and superhero stuff. I don't understand like how
None of
that
that made any fucking sense to me. I just kind of ignored it. It was like, oh yeah, nice rack. Okay, scroll on.
Yeah, I don't totally understand because Sydney Sweeney. So there was controversy about Sydney Sweeney with her family being like Trump supporters. I think that was like something. Was that right? Like a few years ago, wasn't there like a party or something that she was at, and like her mother or somebody was wearing a Trump
that helps
hat
me
or something like that.
Okay.
Okay, so that was the one thing, but the thing was she never officially said that she supported anything conservative. She basically was like, it was a party. I have family members that are conservative, and that's what they wore or whatever. And most people just were like, okay, I get it. Like I have family members that have things that I don't disagree with, but you know, she basically said that, right?
I'm alone.
But her as like a like, I don't think Sydney wants to be a weapon for people to use as like targeting communities, which is what this essentially is. Like they're turning her into like this sword against you know, a bunch of people. I mean, literally wokeness covers so much damn shit. Like I don't even know anymore what it covers or whatever.
And they're using the term wrong and have been using the term wrong for ages, but they don't care.
Well, the thing is though, I like Sydney Sweeney. That's the thing. Like I don't want to dislike her, but they're putting everybody in a weird position where they're like, we like her and we're going to use her to like further our narratives or whatever, even though she's never said or done anything evil. She did great on Saturday Night Live. She was funny. There was like a Hooters sketch that was hilarious. There's a bunch of funny shit that she did. She was kind of making fun of like how people sexualize her. And I thought that was the joke. But the takeaway has been that because she has boobs, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't totally get it.
Yeah, it's
I
like,
don't totally understand.
And that's a bunch of, I know this term is used way too much. It's a bunch of incels. It basically just a bunch of incels, 4chan, freaking poll bullshit. Ignore it, leave them to their god awful website. Move on with your life. Yes, she has a nice rack. You can go on any website and see women with equally nice racks or bigger. Do what you need to do. And move on with your life.
I will say this though, in terms of Paigey, any opinions on this? I thought you were going to say something. You're just yawning.
Oh, no. I think Sydney Sweeney is very, like, what's the term? Marketable. I don't think she's a very good actress from what I've seen. I've only seen one good movie that she's like one movie where she's actually decent in it. The rest she just plays like the same character, which in the same voice. I don't think she can act.
Somebody on social media said she, and this is not my opinion on this. I want to make that very clear.
Sounds like it is your opinion.
It's not. It's not my opinion. It might be eventually. It isn't right now. But they said that she's like generic blonde chick number 8.
She's if the thing is that if she wasn't on Euphoria, I think she's cast off the Euphoria thing and everything like that, and that goes for a bunch of other actors as well that are on that show.
I will say that one of the big missteps in Madam Web was not doing a movie about her version of Spider-Woman. I think that would have been a much better film because I don't think she was necessarily bad in that film in Madam Web. But we're talking about a movie with a lot of issues, so.
I wanted the movie that we ended with. Like the ending of the movie felt like where we should have started. I was like, all right, let's sign. Oh, it's over. Okay. Whatever.
It felt like like 3 different origins smushed together in one.
Right. Yeah.
and from they're not supposed to be in the same universe either, from what I can gather.
But as I was saying, with her not being a very good actress, she plays, as I said, she plays pretty much the same character. Or like it's the same character, but she's angry all the time. Or the same.
But it reminds me of the same thing we complain about with like The Rock or
you know, I think she's falling into that thing.
Yeah, like they don't need her to be anybody else. They can just be who they are, and they just write the role around that. And I think that's gotta suck. I do believe that's why Will Smith started doing all these weird films where he was playing really strange choices because he got tired of just being Will Smith and everything, which is what he was for the longest time. So.
Reality. That was the movie I watched with her in it. She's good in it. Reality, and she's not playing this like typecast role that she has. And the funny thing is, her next movie is another one where she's not playing this typecast role, which is like a nun or something, which she produced and like I think might have even funded a bunch of it as well. But everything else, like that Anyone But You movie, is shit. It is a bad movie. That rom-com, and everyone's saying this is like the start of the new rom-com thing. But it's not a good movie. It's actually not very good at all. And it's like, and she's not very good in it either. But the movies where she's not playing that typecast thing, you know, and she breaks out of it, she's actually okay in. But the thing is, a lot of the movies she's in, she doesn't do a good thing because it's like she's playing the one character or the one role. But I don't know. So agent time, bring them up and say, give me
the very last thing we're going to talk about is Mark Guggenheim answers 2 Smallville-related questions. I was talking about Michael Rosenbaum here and the Lex Luthor in Crisis on Infinite Earths, which, as you know, has been a while since we've looked at this. But he answered questions regarding the role that Lex would play. He goes, well, here's the thing. By the time we engaged with Michael about appearing in Crisis, thanks in huge parts to Stephen Amell's efforts, we had already shot the Smallville reunion scene in hour 2. Nevertheless, I was eager to get Michael's Lex into the story if I could, so my brain started working on an option that could fit into the episodes we were still shooting. I forget the story impetus for them, but I noodled a version where Michael's Lex would interact with John Cryer's Lex, and I think that would have been quite entertaining had it come to pass. So and I guess the idea was to have both Lexes working together in an episode of Crisis. And I think that would have been great, to be completely honest, to see those 2 Lexes together because they're so different. Any thoughts on this? Any concern that you didn't get it or what?
I honestly like the whole Tom Welling when he scene when he basically is like, "You're not Lex." That was like, thank you. That was
yeah.
Basically, Michael Rosenbaum is the Lex that I grew up with. So for Tom Welling to be like, "You're not Lex,"
I do wonder how hard he was to get a hold of, since they're such good friends and talk to each other.
I heard it was money. I heard it was a money.
Yeah, it was
thing.
money problem.
But this is what I mean. By the time we'd engaged with him, they'd already done the stuff with
Tom Welling.
So but by that point, you'd think a whole host of conversations would have happened. Do you mean? So yeah. I think a part of that's just BS. If I'm honest.
There was also conversations to bring Alan Richson to play Aquaman too.
Oh,
because he was they used archive footage of him as a Hawk, but they wanted him to play his Smallville version of Aquaman.
I also see people trying to fan cast him as the Flash. Him
I still want to fan cast him as Batman though. For me,
but I've seen him fan cast as everything now at this point. Is it just because he's muscular now? Is that why we want him to play every character?
Yeah, it's basically that.
Next thing he'll be fan cast.
People aren't very creative, Eric. You'll learn that.
He's also from my hometown, so I have a special place in my heart for him. So
yeah. I've heard through the grapevine that he's a really cool guy. He's not he's not drama filled. He's very easy to work with. He's just a nice dude.
Just don't be a bully in high school. He remembers that shit.
Yeah. All right. So this is the 5-minute warning. If anybody in the chat wants to super chat a topic, we will talk about it. Otherwise, we're going to do a couple more little things and then we're going to head out. Because the stream started later today than normal. I was telling Paigey that I was trying to figure out topics that would make sense. And so I just did the whole Sydney Sweeney / Dakota Johnson because they kind of went together. But we ended up having a good chat. And, a lot of people showed up. So that's kind of cool. But I want to thank everybody for being here. Can we fan cast him as Jimmy Olsen? Who? Alan? As Jimmy Olsen?
That's basically a version of the Jimmy Olsen from Supergirl.
But does anybody have anything going on? Anything new or streams, podcast, anything happening? 3Dub's taking a break from stuff though. I know that. So
yeah.
Well, one thing I was wondering is, okay, so we just had the passing of the Dragon Ball dude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cartoon intros. Which ones go off like a motherfucker? Because I was sitting there wondering that about yesterday, and I was listening Dragon Ball Z. I mean, of course, it just goes off when you heard that in the morning. The cereal got soggy because you just sat there and watched. No sus things, but you're sitting there watching it and you're obsessed with it.
For me,
but I think I have a controversial thing with an animated show. Digimon better than Pokemon. Questions, thoughts, expectations, reactions.
I like Digimon.
Why do you say something so bold yet so brave?
I think Digimon gets forgotten in the conversation in the GOAT conversation. I think it gets forgotten. Dragon Ball Z, very good, but it's fucking long. You got to commit to Dragon Ball Z. But Digimon gets really forgotten in the conversation.
It's hard for me to pick because a lot of traditional animes change their intros every couple
are we talking particularly just shonen animes, or are we talking about anime in general?
Well, when I refer to Dragon Ball Z, I refer to Cartoon Network Dragon Ball Z.
Oh,
That's what I refer to when I think of like Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z is what they showed on.
Cowboy Bebop's intro goes hard.
Oh
Star goes hard. I'm old as hell, so Transformers goes hard. G.I. Joe the movie. Yeah, again, I'm old as hell.
I must say, Digimon movie trumps any Pokemon movie.
Absolutely,
well.
Yes. I actually saw the Digimon movie.
The Digimon movie is actually a movie, while the Pokemon ones feel like a cash grab.
Did you watch
it? Was just an hour long
soundtrack
cartoon,
and it's got a goat soundtrack as well. The Digimon movie as well.
Did you watch the series after Digimon, the reboot stuff?
I just watched the one when I was a kid, which I think was just the OG one. What was it? What was the Agumon was the main.
All right, I'm gonna play my
transforms into
favorite opening of any anime ever. I'm gonna play it, and it's probably gonna get edited out because that's what YouTube does. Because it's music.
Is this some shit one, Eric? Please let it be worth.
No, it's a really good one. It's a Samurai Champloo. So
New Japan.
I've never heard it.
Right here.
Speaking of Japanese creators,
honestly, can we just bite the bullet? Can you just do Dragon Ball Z theme song? Just you've already played that one. Dragon Ball Z theme song, please. Just let it go off. We need some after that because that's like it's decent, but it's like a bit sleep inducing.
Oh, yeah, Inuyasha's outro was dope.
What's funny though is when you look at the Digimon monsters themselves, like they were not created with the names.
With the what?
With the names of the monsters themselves, they were not.
Oh no, they just made them up after the fact. It might be like some lost in translation thing. It goes on. Oh, how good is this? Mate, 9-year-old me in front of the TV, I'll be doing that as well.
There he goes.
Oh, how good is it? One more.
Demonetization, 80%.
Oh, there's a song I'm trying to think of. Oh, I can't remember it. Man, how good is Dragon Ball Z theme song?
Anyway, we have a super chat, and then we're gonna wrap this up. So,
can I just say DuckTales really quickly?
Oh God!
Dude, yeah.
Okay. Stagger War with the Fortnite super chat. Next month is when we find out if Warner Bros. will be sold to who. That's right. We can find out in April if they're.
Freaking Rooster Teeth, man. God damn.
That was weird because Rooster Teeth I used to watch when I was in high school, like Red versus Blue, and
I was at the military when Red versus Blue started to take off,
and like Halo fails of the week and stuff like that. And now it's just I understand it wasn't making money.
Crossover with Justice League.
Yeah, actually, I went to Dragon Con. I actually got a picture with Barbara Dunkel, man. And now I'm looking back, it's like, God damn, man.
Yeah. I understand,
all the time.
Yeah, I don't know if it was not making any money because I don't know how much that. I get maybe those are on the.
They were probably making some. I mean, after all the controversies and everything, I was like, yeah, we're not going to see this.
It wasn't that guy was wasn't he like.
Yeah,
with the emails
freaking Ryan.
Like
Ryan was like grooming underage girls, and then Adam, the other guy, Adam from Funhouse, was doing crazy stuff and putting. Well, I'll leave it there because I don't want him to get demonetized.
He's like cheating on his wife or something.
I'm already gonna have to chop stuff.
Yeah. It was like after all those controversies, man, it was like, we're not seeing this past 2025.
But do we?
But that's the thing. Like, it's like that's like an end of an era with Rooster Teeth going because Machinima died ages ago. Machinima and Rooster Teeth, you'd come home from school and you'd load up your COD or Halo, whatever you're going to play.
I believe what killed that is short form content. I think
they just
that.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah, stuff like especially when TikTok started coming around, it just killed it.
Here's the thing. Honest question. Are we all doing a ritual circle? Eric might be the one sacrificing the blood. I'm not too sure. For the end of TikTok. Because I think TikTok is ruining social media as a whole. There's too much brain rot on there. I'm sorry.
All
the guy is funny on there.
We get comes from TikTok.
There's a guy on there. He's funny, but it's also I don't think people take it too much as sarcasm. Is that a picture of Eric?
No, it's it looks like it looks like Black Eric, but no, it's not Eric. Not really.
But there's a guy who does the Risley University on TikTok, and it's funny, but it's also very internalized criticism of TikTok.
TikTok is where a lot of the conspiracy bullshit we get over here and the fake ghost videos and everything, all that comes from TikTok. The majority.
Well, I haven't been getting into that crap. I've been getting
some of it happens on Twitter as well.
But TikTok. So I know because I watch a lot of these fucking ghost videos or whatever. They basically aggregate a bunch of videos from TikTok and then make long form content out of it. That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
And so Yeah, go ahead, Darren.
Sorry. No, I mean, like, if it does go away, like, again, I like TikTok. I think there's a lot of benefits to that, and like, I think it helps a lot of people out growing their business and stuff like that. I think it's great, but like, all the negatives going away from TikTok could be like, okay, we can start fresh, but it wouldn't, because people would just go somewhere else.
We'll just go to YouTube Shorts.
No, that's my theory. If TikTok goes away, YouTube Shorts will be a separate app. 100%. YouTube will turn Shorts into a separate app.
Or they'll go to what's it called? Not Rumble, but
no, Rumble won't. There's only one natural competitor for TikTok, and that is YouTube Shorts.
Instagram Reels. They'll just get like a lot of the creators would probably Instagram. But I know Instagram Reels like monetization thing.
Yeah, they'll probably go to Snapper.
Snapchat.
No, Snapper. No, it's basically just right wing TikTok.
Okay. The reason why I'm putting this out is because we talked about when Twitter was dying, all of these alternates for Twitter. There was no real true competitor to Twitter.
Yeah, because they had that one thing called Hive, which I really liked Hive, but they just could not handle the traffic.
Even Threads couldn't do it, and Blue Sky isn't doing it, right?
Yeah.
YouTube Shorts, if it is made into a separate app and they make it basically a clone of what TikTok was, it will literally just take over that market.
Yeah.
It will literally take over that market.
Yeah, everyone just go to YouTube Shorts.
Because this isn't like Twitter where Twitter never actually died. If TikTok goes away, there has to be someone to fill in the gap.
But I also heard that it's only in America. Like it's still available in Australia and the UK and stuff. So.
But the problem is that the star power that comes from American money would go away, and that would be funneled into whatever.
Also, that's where the creative fund is. It's like a lot of the creative fund that supplies money to TikTok is through.
Just think about this: how many people on YouTube? I'm not one of them, but I know a lot of people do cross promote with TikTok. There's a lot of people that do it. They would just take that energy they're using for TikTok cross promotion and put it into YouTube Shorts because it makes the most sense. Because I know it takes millions of views to get money on YouTube Shorts, but there's some channels that are able to monetize their YouTube Shorts.
Also, so like TikTok around when the Tide Pod challenge was happening.
Yes,
I believe so. Yeah.
Was it?
Okay, so that might have been a big.
No, wait. No.
It might have been Vine. It might have been Vine.
It was either Vine or TikTok. Yeah, I forget. TikTok is old, but it's just I haven't been messing with it.
TikTok started out as Musically. I think Musically was what TikTok was before.
Yeah, but I think when it became TikTok was like the year before COVID, and then but it was also still not massive. Then COVID happened, and then it was massive because of COVID.
Yeah. Either way, I think there are some people who are literally use TikTok as their business. Like that is what they use to make money off of and everything. If I were someone that were a TikToker, I would have already started like trying to find other ways to make, like sort of like when Vine died and they had to move over to like, because a lot of the big YouTube stars we have now came from Vine. So I wouldn't be surprised. So I think TikTok creators are people that use TikTok, and trust me, TikTok for me, to be completely honest, is the lowest investment in terms of like content making. It is literally this. Hey everybody, what's going on? Blah blah blah. Okay, send. That's what it is. That is the extent of like most TikTok videos. So I do believe that we will lose a lot of those people. A lot of the people that use TikTok as like a social thing or whatever.
Or the people who are like, I'm going to spill this drink all over my head. Yeah, and it's just like 2 minutes.
They never do it.
I'll do it. I'll do it, and it just ends.
Oh, I hate those people.
I will strangle those.
It's all my live.
Yeah.
So live, or else I'll spill this on my head, and they're just like in the back, like fixing dinner or whatever.
Wait, hold on. Speaking of TikTok, have any of you heard of the Australian guy that went through like psychosis through Hawaii?
Before we move on to another subject, can we please answer this?
He's now in a mental hospital in Australia, and he won't be let out because of
we're gonna answer the super chat that's on the screen. Because somebody paid, and I would like to answer this.
Mute my mic. That's rude.
Yes, because I'm trying to answer this fucking super chat, and you keep changing the topic because you're trolling. So
how am I trolling? It was a
because I asked you, I said twice now, let's answer the super chat, and you just keep changing the subject.
Who's super chat?
Oh my god. Okay, now we're gonna answer the super chat. Do we think Warner Brothers will get sold next month?
I don't think so.
I forgot. It's the same super chat.
Probably.
It's been sitting there the whole time.
I thought we answered it.
Yeah, but the answer.
No, I said this, and then you're like, "But wait a minute, what about TikTok?" And we never answered this question. So
no, I didn't change it. Someone else did.
No, but
shifting blame as per usual.
I don't know. Possibly. I mean, like if all this stuff is way up in the air, but we'll probably find out by year's end.
Yes, no, it shifted to the Rooster Teeth stuff because that's what changes
Yeah.
the topic of this. So, anyway, I just want to answer this, my thoughts on it, and then we'll drop it down and do other topics.
Oh yeah, that was Omega. So we're blaming Omega. He's the one that did it. He changed the topic.
So we're going to take. Hold on. So here we go. How about that? It was his fault. Anyway, I think ultimately Warner Brothers will be sold. I think that's a no-brainer. 100% it's going to get sold to someone else or merge with someone else. Yeah. But I don't know who it's going to be. I can't imagine it's going to be Disney. Because that would be
nuts.
That would be like they will own the entire world, basically.
I know, right? Yeah, no, the FCC is probably getting into it, in monopoly.
Because of Marvel, you can't own DC too.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see where it goes. But thank you for the super chat. This is funny here, though. TikTok should be banned. This is a hot take, maybe. TikTok should be banned. It's rotting people's brain, and whether you like it or not, our personal data is possibly being harvested by China. Yeah. For what reason, I would not like to find out. Okay, so going down the line here.
If Facebook doesn't do the exact same thing,
I know.
The person who made the question is
going down the line, TikTok banned, yes or no? Darth, you first. Do you think TikTok should be banned?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, it's not getting banned by you. It's getting banned by us. Basically, US
I think forcing the sale seems to be a legit way of going about it. I think if they do that and then keep that involvement out like they're trying to do, then just keep it around.
Yeah.
I want to say this before we move down the line, though. If TikTok does get banned in the USA, other countries will start banning it. 100%.
Well, Australia, UK, and Canada and New Zealand probably would because they're a part of the same. Like
Since
5 ways.
Our country have been up your butt. Okay, like we will hold your hand and go wherever you go on anything. We just love you and just
I don't know. Is it as bad as when like Tony Blair was like begging to to George Bush's it's
as bad right as that. All there. Just I hate
getting political.
Oh no.
Arguably, we blame Tony Blair for the Iraq War, but anyway.
Oh gosh! All right, so Darren, should TikTok get banned or not? What do you think?
I mean, I don't know about the data stuff. Like, I'm not going to pretend like, oh, they should. I don't know what's going on there. But as far as I like TikTok just in form as how much it's helped people. Like I don't know if you guys have seen the current trend of that old lady who wrote her book and she's about she's losing her her mind and stuff like that, and all these people are buying it, and her dream is coming true. And I think some of these stories like that, careers are getting made, authors getting their books read, music people getting their songs made.
Book talk is very popular, where people get on and share their love for books, and they are able to go out a lot of bookstores now. You go back in and you see the shelf of book talk books that are.
But that community was on YouTube, and then it just shifted over to TikTok because that pretty much a lot of that community was already on YouTube, and now it just shifted to TikTok.
Okay, another thing is if YouTube wants to actually compete with TikTok, if this does happen, they need to raise the length of the YouTube shorts. 15 seconds to 1 minute is not a lot of time. It's just not.
TikTok is 10 to 15, right?
It's 3. 3 is the max for most people, and some accounts can go up to 10, I believe.
Yeah. Well, I saw
10,
I saw it.
I would argue that TikTok's a weird blend of social media and video content.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, the other thing is that I don't think YouTube would ever go to 10 minutes because that would really fuck with people's long form content.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but at that point, just make a video,
Well, Paige and I both, I think we agreed that they need to do at least a minute and a half, 90 seconds to make a video, because then you could actually create a narrative. Because 1 minute, I'll be honest, I actually utilize shorts a lot on my other channel, and it's really difficult to get information in and get a opinion in 1 minute. It's really difficult.
I also noticed that it loses people's attention at 16 seconds.
Yeah. So, the 15-second thing is for the Vine people, the people that love to do those short little Vine videos. Wasn't Vine videos 4 seconds or something? It was really short.
8 seconts.
8 seconds.
I wasn't really into Vine.
Yeah. 3Dub, should they ban TikTok in the United States?
I think it's a stupid thing to vote on.
Okay.
There's more pressing issues in this country than just TikTok.
Congress, not
Paige, I know it's not your country, but TikTok ban in the United States, are you down for it? Are you not down for it?
I mean, if there's legitimate concerns for security and especially data and stuff like that, then fair enough. If it's just because like, I don't know, Joe Biden saw like an AI Trump thing, make fun of him, and got triggered. I'm too sure.
I actually believe there's something
He's stupid.
big. They're
He's
not telling
stupid.
us. I think there's
Whatever
something
it
big.
was.
The only reason I say there's something, and I'm not a conspiracy person, but there must be something big because it is a complete wipe across the board.
Yeah,
Like,
I think people
everybody is
downplaying. I think people downplaying it is like a bit. I mean, at the end of the day, you might not care, but I think there must be some sort of concern there to go through Congress.
I
Like
heard
there must be
from
some
my,
like legitimate concern and like obviously evidence as well.
I heard from my parents that it's basically they're China is trying to figure out what ways to rig the election by finding what we like and what we basically they're trying to like steal personal information from us by watching our videos.
I mean,
Yeah,
like they've already said that the facial recognition technology has been questionable, like on TikTok, as well as like the voice mapping technology. There's a lot of stuff on there that seems really cool that in a evil, sinister way could be used like to fuck with people. So I'm not too surprised about that, but I still believe there's something bigger because the fact that everyone in politics is saying we want to ban this. Everyone across the aisles. Like that never happens. Democrats or Republicans never ever agree on anything. So
I mean, if you were saying China weren't biffing so much, then maybe it might not be going through. But obviously, that relationship is hit the fan. Is it Xi Jinping?
Yeah.
Is he the current president? Anyway, Xi Jinping is coming.
What about you, Omega? Should they ban TikTok?
Absolutely not. The U.S. government stay the fuck off my phone. If y'all are y'all that concerned about data breaches, what about Facebook, Amazon? Did I say Facebook already? Twitter,
Facebook,
all these other apps that y'all do the exact
they
same
only
thing.
they're
the exact same thing. Y'all are picking on
Omega.
TikTok
You got it wrong.
only?
As long as they are harvesting the data, it's okay. That's the difference. As long as it's the people in the United States harvesting data.
You know, also when you say like how like Democrats and Republicans are both unanimous on this thing, the Congress is full of freaking 80-year-old idiots who don't know a goddamn thing about electronics. These idiots, these people, 20 years from now, where are these people going to be? Dead in the grave, hopefully earlier.
So there's a way for it to not be banned. Apparently, they require them to sell it.
Yeah, no.
Well,
they
sell it to a U.S. based company, so they can
honestly, and that's just that they're going to have to
harvest the data.
Yeah, they're going to have to sell that dirt cheap in comparison to what it's actually worth. This is either just old people. No, yeah, this is just pretty much just theft of this company. They're trying to sell this off, and a bunch of old people. They just paid off a bunch of old people. Congress doesn't know a goddamn thing about technology. They agree to it. Oh, this is ruining our children.
He's very
get rid of it.
TikTok. He's very.
I fucking hate Congress because they're idiots.
I will say this though. I do believe at a certain point we'll be going into the App Store and downloading a YouTube Shorts app. I do believe that is.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Called You Shorts.
You Shorts.
Drop the mic.
That was a mic drop moment. All right, we have one final super chat here from Crazy Cat Lady, $5 super chat. Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. Wait, spelled wrong, but it's okay. I'm playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Hey, that's an amazing game.
Is anybody playing that? I'm not playing it, but is anybody
I'm playing on PC. I'm waiting for the PC release because I ain't got a PS5.
Wait, you forgot to ask the most important question of the day, Eric. Following up from the stream from last week, I think it was.
Changing the subject.
Hold on. I thought it just crushed my mind.
Well, this isn't much of a subject. It's more of a statement, though. But yeah.
Did Omega watch Snowtown?
Oh, that's right. Did you watch it?
No, I didn't.
We talked about this on Monday. You had a whole week to watch it.
Look, Wednesday I was freaking helping my brother move. I am still sore from that. My parents are actually over at.
It's for free on YouTube. It costs you nothing to watch it.
I saw said either it was like had to pay like $2.99.
Could you do Eric? Could you do a reaction video of Snowtown top 5 funny moments or something like that?
No, because there's no funny moments in it. Like there's no funny moments.
You thought they were funny.
What would that video be? No, I did not. What would I be laughing at? People getting chained to a bathtub? No, like that's not funny. It's not funny.
Oh, it's right here.
You said you were chuckling throughout it. But anyway,
I was not chuckling at all.
Maybe I missed it.
So Cody firing back at Paige here. As someone who has watched Sydney for years, she's never played the same character. That's her number one rule with acting. So, shots fired.
Wait, is this
anyway? Wait,
Is that it?
How you even
Snowtown
doing
2011.
I can't see it. It's really small.
Yeah, you have to like make it full screen.
Yeah, there we go. Yep.
Do not play. Like
Yeah, I'm
you
not
can
playing that. I'm playing it.
go,
You can,
you can
at
go.
least
You can
don't
go to
skip halfway through.
You
Don't
can go
skip
you can go a couple frames in to
Wait,
see
yeah,
what
is
it
this
is. I don't know. I can't read. Oh yeah, that's it. Take it down. Take it down off your screen.
All right,
That's
all
it.
right, all right.
That's it. That's it. Yeah.
All right, that's it. Okay.
Do not show
Oh, you
that.
I just
worried
want to make sure
about
it's
it's
the
like
right.
Do not show
Eric
that.
was worried he was going to skip to like the third act or something and see it.
Is anybody
No.
that's here a big fan of Sydney Sweeney? Like in terms of like.
I'm not a
her
big
work?
fan. I mean, I liked her in Euphoria, but like, that's all. I've
She's
really seen her in
marketable, but I
outside of
think
the
she's
Madam
like a bit. I think the fact that she's marketable means she's over.
Yeah.
I know, like not overhyped because I don't know how many people are hyping her, but it's like over. Like I don't know, like she's putting a lot of stuff at the moment. If that makes
Would
sense.
you say she was the biggest name in the Madam Web movie? Would you say that more so than Dakota?
No.
Currently, I'd say.
I mean, maybe for like under 25s, 30s, but like I mean, like
Yeah.
Dakota Johnson is like Don Johnson and Melanie Griffith's daughter. Like a lot of people know them and who she is because of
Not
that.
even that, just the amount of women for that 50 Shades movie. There's going to be a lot of
Yeah,
people.
like they made a lot of money. So like I'd say, I mean, like Emma Roberts was in that movie as well. Like a lot of people know who.
Yeah.
And even what's his name? Adam Scott. Adam Scott.
Although
Mike Epps.
I think that answer is about to change though in like 5 years because that one girl's is going to be Hawk Girl and The Last of Us and whatever else she's working on. Like, I think
Isabella
she's about to
Merced.
blow-
She's
Yeah,
also-
like I think she's about
Aren't
to
people
blow up.
now like canceling her?
I heard they
no,
were.
really?
Yeah.
I think she's getting
Yeah.
canceled now for that. But
Yeah, I've
anyway.
heard they're trying to cancel her.
I
but-
won't explain why because that'll probably get it demonetized.
Yeah, 100%. Just
Political.
look it up online. But yeah, there is some talk about like getting her canceled or whatever. But I don't know. Everybody gets canceled. Like I will say this to any.
It's
like, this is
canceled
just my
season.
advice.
2024 is the year.
My
of the cancel.
advice:
They're going
If
to
you get-
cancel Bora. Like, what the hell, man?
if you get cast in a major film, delete
Get
your
off
Twitter,
social media.
delete your Instagram, delete your Twitter. Like this is just me telling you to cover your tracks. If you did some shit stuff back in the day and you were an edgelord, delete all your shit and get off social media. That's pretty much the way it works.
Is that what you said to Zach Bance or whatever his name is?
No, I did not say that.
Is it Zach Bance? Is that his name?
I don't know who you're talking about.
The ghost dude.
What?
That blocked you on Twitter.
Gosh.
Baggins? Is it?
It's Zach Bagans, I believe, is from Ghost Adventures. Yeah, no, not him.
We got DJ Eric Law. DJ Eric Internet Law. Like
I
the
made a
iceberg
video.
thing.
I made a video pretending to be a what was it I was doing? I don't remember. Anyway, in the video it was a joke, and we were doing some stuff, and I said that his shirts looked like he purchased them from Baby Gap because they were too tight, and he wears clown pants. That's what I said. But it was a joke. This is back when nobody really did this shit. Like this was like 2010, 2011, something like that. And it was like a joke video. I wore like a really funny hat with like ears on it and everything. Anyway, it was like a joke video. And somehow he found the video on social media and then blocked me. So he had to find my YouTube and then follow my YouTube to my Twitter and then block me on Twitter. Like back in 2010.
Was this before or
2011.
after the Vegemite taste test? I didn't swallow video.
That was around the same. It was probably around the same time, roughly. So
You should do a video going through the DJ Eric Law with the iceberg and stuff that's really, really well known and stuff that's like a deeper dive.
there was a video from back in the day of me using Hater brand soap. I made a soap that was for haters, and you would wash yourself off with the soap so you wouldn't be a hater. And I had a scene of me in the shower with the soap.
What, pixelated or what?
That's deep. No, this is deep YouTube lore.
What?
Like, this
Okay,
is really
we're
deep
on the
lore.
iceberg with the DJ Eric versus Darkside Phil drama. Where would that lie?
There's no Dark Side Phil drama. That was never on the internet. I knew him
Did you,
IRL.
I thought you interacted with him.
Yes, in real life.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
We used to travel. Omega kind of knows this. We used to travel and play Street Fighter and fighting games around the world, basically. And we knew Dark Side Phil world.
But
yes.
so, do you guys know who Darkside Phil is?
Canada is the world. Omega playing in Canada is outside of the United States. So.
Okay.
Yes, I know who Darkside Phil is. Oh, the camera's still on.
I met him
Camera's on the whole
in
time,
Philly. I met him in Philly at a Marvel vs. Capcom Street Fighter Mortal Kombat gaming tournament, and he was there, and he was awful, and he got beat by everybody. So I don't know why he keeps talking about how good he is, because he wasn't good when he played back then.
Yeah, because he never does anything wrong. It was never his fault.
I made it further in the competition using Spiral, Cable, Cyclops, which is a team that nobody really played back then. And I would lock them in with the spiral trap, using the spinning swords, throwing them in the timing, and calling out an assist from Cable's Hyper Viper Beam.
Y'all are so lost.
So I have to ask you, Eric, as a DSP hater,
DSP tries it.
did you lol when he was caught cranking it on stream?
Okay, I'm going to say this. I don't know how he did not know that was happening.
Oh,
I do not understand. Look, we all stream. We all stream in one way or another.
Wow.
I don't know how he did not know he wasn't on camera. Like, how did he not know that?
Parents been on the whole time, huh?
And why did you pick that moment to do that? Why did you pick that moment to do that? What was so pressing that you had to do that like seconds before you turned on your camera to go live?
So he's actually got a crazy eyes for, because didn't start talking to the girl he ended up marrying like when she was underage or something like that?
Oh, I don't know about all that. I'm not getting into that. I don't know that much lore.
And then they end up getting divorced.
So I don't know about all that. But yes, he's always been the same kind of person he is now. My brother knew him better than I did because he did more fighting game tournaments.
I used to be subscribed to his channel because he was good for, he did unboxings and whether it was worth getting a special edition of a game. Like, and that was like the one reason, because he'd be like the first one on YouTube to ever upload.
Now he's a virtual panhandler. He just gets on camera and begs for money.
He begs for money.
Yeah. So this this is basically him. This is him before his stream. Let me do this right here. So this is him. Hey everybody, this is Dark Side Phil. My bills are really piling up this month, and I don't have enough money to pay the light bill. And if you guys want, I'll wear a funny hat if somebody will tip me directly through my PayPal, because that goes directly into my bank account. So tip me directly through PayPal $100, and I'll wear a funny hat. And I just noticed a lot of people in here lately have not been tipping. So you guys need to tip even more, so that way I can play more games for you. And, I make my own pizza sauce from scratch. So I have to buy ingredients for that. So make sure you tip me for that. Like, that's what he does before his streams. Every single time he streams on Twitch.
Can do it.
And I can't imagine people that watch him aren't doing it because he's a lolcow. I can't imagine they're watching him because they find his
does he fall into the lolcow territory?
Oh, absolutely.
Wasn't he supposed to have like a documentary?
Yes, Wings of Redemption, Boogie 2988, him and some other person were supposed to be in this thing that Keemstar was doing. Like a lolcow documentary.
Oh, the lolcow podcast. Yeah, I was watching Richard.
Oh my god, the drama that went around that, right? Ironically, and
look here,
and then what Keemstar made Boogie do, sitting there like screaming at him down the phone, and him making that.
Well, the Boogie documentary. The Boogie documentary is a whole nother level of like what the fuck.
I watched the scene with him talking to the employment work.
He went in to sit down with her. Yeah, I mean, I was like, this has to be a setup. It cannot be real. It cannot be real.
Didn't he have him in the tub with his girlfriend? Like, wait, what the fuck? I ain't trying to see all that.
Yeah. If you Google my name, you might see that I beat my ex-wife.
I know, like, it's weird. It's all weird. Boogie went from being an internet darling to being one of the most hated people on the internet. It's really that is a case study waiting to happen. I'm waiting for somebody to do like a college dissertation on the fall of Boogie.
But what's bigger but which one's crazier? Is it him? Is it Boogie, or is it Wings of Redemption? Because Wings of Redemption one is great.
Well, Wings of Redemption was never like a beloved person. I think he's always been sort of a lolcow from the beginning.
Well, I think people used to. He was beloved for like really, really early on, and then I was a part of that. Like, I was watching that live when it happened. That was like when I was in high school.
I don't. If we're talking about the comparison between him and Boogie, I don't think there is a comparison. I think people really.
Well, Boogie's is much more recent. Like the drop is much more steep. Like,
because people realized that the Boogie we got on YouTube was different from the Boogie on Twitch. Like, it was two different people.
Well,
And
oh my,
so-
yeah. Well, didn't he just show his willy on the stream like a couple of weeks ago?
No.
Nah, it was his
Well,
belly. He was
existed.
naked.
He showed the area where a woolly should be, but anyway.
Well,
Yeah,
he
he
dropped-
was.
yeah.
He was naked, but it's like his belly fat was covering everything, so you didn't see a thing.
Okay.
It's
I would
just-
say
it's all weird.
since he got married, really, like everything just went downhill from there.
Well, isn't he divorced now?
Yeah. That's what I mean. It's like
Yeah, or they separated early.
marriage, like that's when he went from like partially being Francis to like taking on some kind of entitlement where like you saw the thing like where he talks about like him and like ladies of the night and like stuff like that.
Oh, he spent all of his money on hookers and stuff like that.
But
Yeah.
the way he talks about it is so gross. It's so gross. It's like
I want to say
I deserve this. Why don't I deserve this?
also
all of it.
with the whole boogie thing, I think, and this is a bigger topic for another day, but when people get on YouTube and they are not who they really are, like they're playing a character of something, like whether it be Francis or they're just someone completely different from who they actually are, eventually you will get tired of playing that character and you're just going to be yourself. And you're either going to do that online or offline, which is why I've never wanted to do that, because I'm always like, I don't want people to misunderstand who I am. I want to just be who I am. You know what I mean? All the time. So when you do that, you eventually get to a point where people figure out you're not the person that you say you are. You're not a good person. You're somebody that's really awful. He went from being like this big overweight guy that made fun of his size. That was essentially his entire platform, was a big, silly sort of, I don't know, comedian, I guess, game playing comedian guy, to losing a bunch of weight, getting fake teeth, you know what I mean? Like trying to make himself look really handsome, which all of those things are admirable. I have no issue with
He fixed
that.
himself up for a bit and didn't.
But the problem is the internet wanted him to be the funny fat guy. That's who they wanted him to be. And no matter how much he tried to win them back over, that's all he was ever going to be to a vast majority of the people that watch his content. And that's unfortunate, because that is the presentation that he gave to the world, when that's not who he actually was. And so trying to change, his fans revolted against him. That's essentially what it is. And again, like I said, that's a deeper conversation. There's much more nuance to it. But I think ultimately, if you come on the internet and you're going to be a character, once you stop being that character, call it a day. Don't continue to stream. Don't, because you're just going to make people resent you. They're going to turn against you. It's not going to work. You have to be yourself. You have to, or there has to be a clear explanation that you're not being yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you get on and you're playing a character and you pretend that's who you are, people are going to get mad when they find out that's not who you are.
Yeah, which was a big thing with like even that whole period of YouTube, like even that Colleen Ballinger just copped it recently.
Yeah,
because everyone sees her as that one.
But it's the same thing. Being a character on the internet, whether it's on TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is, if you're not committed to doing that for the rest of your life, then, or the time you're on the internet, I guess I should say, you're going to receive backlash unless you make it very clear that is not you. And I know that Boogie had Francis, but the Boogie that we knew back then was also playing a character.
Another thing, he said the reason why he kind of stopped doing Francis was because his ex-wife really wrote a lot of the scripts, and when they divorced, he really couldn't go back to that character because it was like painful for him.
I also think at a certain point it just doesn't become funny anymore.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I think
how many times can you like blame someone for taking a Mountain Dew and everything? Like
that was hilarious.
And flip a table, but those things, the reason why those things are so hilarious is because they didn't get played out. Like if they would have been played out, people wouldn't still be talking about it. There's a certain point where a joke becomes more than like what it should be. Anyway, all right, we're gonna end the stream there. Thank you guys so much for being here. See everybody on Monday.
Feel free to YouTube DSP cranks it or something like that.
No, don't do that.
I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube still.
DSP
cranks
it is still. It is, but you don't have to do that. I'll be doing a Dune stream on Monday. Anybody wants to come back and watch it, we'll talk about it. So yeah, of course. We'll be doing that, and I'll schedule it out so everybody will see. But thank you so much, everybody, and we'll see you next time.